Sheepsquatch. The world of cryptozoology, with its sea monsters, Bigfoot, Chupacabras, and other mysterious creatures of all shapes and sizes roaming the wilds of the world, spawning some truly amazing tales, is perhaps for some already fairly strange enough. While some of these alleged mystery beasts may already be pushing the boundaries of the strange, there have been cases of strange creatures bursting straight through the boundaries of the strange, erupting into the realms of the truly otherworldly and bizarre, driving past the boundaries of oddity into the surreal. These are the puzzling creatures that are nearly impossible to categorize, seeming to exist free of the established rules of zoology, biology, or even, in some cases, reality, and are truly unique entities inhabiting a domain unto themselves, even perhaps challenging our notions of what a cryptid even is. Lurking out beyond the horizons of the strange, perched at the very fringes of cryptozoology, this is the weird world of some of the strangest, most outlandish, and indeed, at times, most preposterous cryptids around. Let's take a look. Across a large swath of West Virginia, including Boone, Kanawha, Putnam, and Mason counties, there is said to be a hulking creature which is really hard to classify. Starting in around the mid-1990s, there began a string of sightings of what was described as a white, woolly bear-sized beast with a pointed head topped by goat-like horns, a snouted face with long, sharp teeth, and a long hairless tail said to be reminiscent of that of an opossum. The creature, which was often reported to be accompanied by a pungent, sulfurous stench, was initially dubbed the White Thing and would later be dubbed Sheepsquatch, despite bearing very little physical resemblance to its more famous Sasquatch cryptid cousin, other than perhaps its size and hairiness. The first sightings of this bizarre creature started coming in 1994. In perhaps the earliest report, a group of women claimed that they'd been driving along a treacherous icy road in a location in West Virginia known as the TNT area, where they were cautiously inching along in order not to get into an accident. According to the witnesses, they were then surprised by a large creature which lumbered out of the woods in front of them, described as being around 7 or 8 feet tall, covered with shaggy white hair with a pointed snout, ram-like horns, and human-looking legs. The mysterious creature allegedly froze for a moment when the headlights hit it before running off into the dark forest. Soon after this report, others came pouring in, and there were numerous sightings made in 1994. In one account, a former Navy seaman out hunting observed the same creature emerge from the forest to crouch at a creek to drink before continuing on its way. The witness claimed to have watched it for several minutes and said that it had human-like hands. In another account, a motorist spotted a tall, robust creature on a hillside that was covered in white fur that appeared to be like rags hanging off of its body. In that very same year, there was another rather high-profile sighting made in Boone County by 2 children playing in their yard. The children reported that a beast that looked like a white bear walking on its hind legs was making its way through the underbrush on the periphery of their property when their startled screams had sent it in a mad bolt through the forest, leaving snapped saplings and tree branches in its wake. Later reports of the Sheepsquatch would take on a more threatening tone. In 1995, a couple was driving along when they spotted a white, bear-like creature hunched over in a roadside ditch. When the couple slowed down to see what it was, the creature had then stood up on its hind legs to reveal that it was no bear, but rather a massive beast with a horned head and, oddly, 4 eyes. The thing then allegedly dashed to their car in a fury, slashing and banging the side of the vehicle with great force before the terrified couple sped away. They claimed that when they reached their home they discovered that the side of their car displayed wicked scratches that looked like they had been made by claws. In 1999, there was another such frightening encounter when some campers heard what they first took to be the sounds of a bear grunting, huffing, and moving about in the darkness beyond their camp. Already nervous because a bear was so close and didn't seem to be in the best of moods, the campers were in for a surprise when a hulking white blur crashing out of the brush let out a blood-curdling, unearthly scream. Fleeing for their lives, the campers briefly looked back to see the Sheepsquatch standing at their camp glaring at them. Allegedly, when the campers returned the following day, their campsite seemed to have been totally ransacked by a large animal of some kind. In yet another apparent attack by a Sheepsquatch, an account outlined in a 2013 episode of the TV show Monsters and Mysteries in America, 2 hunters claimed that a giant, furry white beast over 9 feet tall had let out an ungodly, gut-curling growl before running towards them in an aggressive manner. The most recent report of the Sheepsquatch occurred in 2015, when a group of 6 unnamed campers saw it while camping out in a place called Fook's Run. One of the campers reportedly first saw the creature crouching menacingly atop a hill at around midnight, after which he went to warn the others. It was then that whatever it was stood at its full height of 8 or 9 feet and started running down the hill towards their camp. Apparently a river stood between the campers and the creature, but after trying in vain to find a way around it simply waded right into the rushing water to slosh towards them. By this time, all of the campers had gathered to watch the strange monster coming inexorably through the river towards them, and when it emerged they could see that it looked like a huge, white bipedal dog, dripping water from its soaked fur. The campers reported that there had then been a shriek from something else in the forest, and this had apparently frightened the creature, which whimpered and slunk off back into the woods in apparent fear or passiveness. One wonders what could have provoked such a response. As absurd as the Sheepsquatch may seem, it is not the only truly strange Sasquatch-like beast out there.